Hey, good morning. Welcome to church this morning. So glad you've been able to join us and tune in this morning and catch up on this podcast wherever you are listening to. We are in the sunshine again today. It is a beautiful day and I'm in the garden. Not our garden, not just any garden, but M&S garden here at the Metro Centre. So I hope this works okay. I hope everything works this morning as it should do. So this is the last podcast, last message, last morning in church until after the holidays. So as you are watching this, we are 4,000 miles away, probably drinking coffee or something along those kind of lines, eating food, drinking coffee, enjoying the sunshine in Florida. Okay, so we are back here in September. Okay, so we'll see you in September after this message. So last week was quite serious. It was quite a serious message. This week, probably a little bit more light-hearted, a little bit easier on the palate, if you like, a little bit easier to digest. Okay, so I'm going to crack on this morning, and I hope this helps you. I hope this makes you feel better. If you're not feeling great this morning, I hope this maybe makes you feel a little bit better. So my title this morning, and I believe it's the 3rd of August, is I Am Not Normal. No comments required. Okay, listen, I am not normal and I love it. I am not normal and I love it. So in case you're getting worried, this is not a woke message. I'm not into all that kind of stuff. Okay, I can't really be on with all of that. Diversity and all that kind of stuff that woke make everything about. It's not. That's not what I'm talking about this morning. So let me make that straight away. I'm talking about this. Imagine this. Okay, use your imagination for this. I'm talking about if normal is a straight line. Imagine normal being just a ruled straight line. That's normal. My line has got a few wrinkles in it. A little bit like the new lens I got put in my eye in November. I had new lens put in. I had a cataract operation, new lens put in. Great at first, and then over recent months, it's kind of something weird going on. I went to see someone who took a scan of the eye just last week, and he said, "Oh, you got a wrinkle in your lens." I said, "I've got a wrinkle in a few places. Never mind, just my lens." But that's what I'm talking about. Like kind of, if normal is a straight line, the mine's got a few wrinkles in it. My line's a little bit curved. It's not as straightforward as a normal straight line. My line's a little bit broken in places. Do you see where I'm going with this morning? My line's a little bit more complicated than a straight A to B line. And I am guessing this morning, I'm talking to people this morning who, if you look at your life and you look at who you are, that your line is not a normal straight line. There's a few wrinkles there, there's a few complications there, there's a few curves there, and maybe a little bit broken in places. I am not normal, and I love it. I mean, we live in Newcastle, and I support Sunderland. We live in a black and white area, dominantly black and white, and I am red and white. So that's not normal. I am officially a pensioner. I know you don't believe that, I know, but I am officially a pensioner. And yet every morning I leave home at 8 a.m. as if I'm going to work. Because I treat this as if I treat work, as serious as if I treat work. So I leave the house at 8 o'clock, I do some prep, I do some walking, I do some coffeeing, I do some eating. My first coffee of the day, my family know this, it's a rule, my first coffee of the day has to be a Starbucks coffee. Doesn't matter where we are for breakfast or what we are doing early in the morning. If I have to wait until 2 in the afternoon, my first coffee has to be Starbucks. Come on. I mean, I know you don't want to judge me, but that's not normal, and I love it. Number one this morning is this: celebrate you're not normal. Don't hide it. Don't water it down. Don't hide it. Don't put it underneath a cover. Celebrate you're not normal. Celebrate that you, like me, are not normal. If normal is that straight, boring line, celebrate that you are unique. Celebrate that you are different. And I'll maybe come to that later on. Celebrate that you are dealing with a few wrinkles in life. Not just talking about wrinkles in our face, which we try to cover. I'm talking about the wrinkles in life that come along, that make life not a straight, normal, straight line. Celebrate that you're thinking and that your character is a little bit curved. Am I on the ball this morning? Your character is not a straight line by any means. There's a few curves in there, isn't there? Come on, all of us characters this morning who a little bit curved. Our thinking's a little bit curved. We think a little bit differently to other people in the room, other people around the table. We just think a little bit differently. I've been sat around tables with pastors and leaders of churches for years, and I've felt a bit odd sometimes because when they've been talking, not being judgmental on them, it's just my opinion and my thinking, that's a load of rubbish. What you're saying is, I don't really get that, but didn't dare say it because my thinking's a little bit kind of curved. Maybe this morning you were not normal because you've been broken in a few places. Life has brought challenges and you've been broken in a few places. You're not normal in that you are a little bit complicated in places. It's not straightforward. Your tastes are complicated. Are you with me? Your thinking is a little bit more complicated. Celebrate this morning that you are imperfect, that you are not the finished product, that you are not a straight line, like maybe some people are. Some people might walk as if they're perfect this morning. Well, I'm telling you, I am celebrating this morning because I am not perfect, because I am imperfect. I think that's something to celebrate, that I haven't got there yet, that God hasn't finished with me yet, that there are still a few wrinkles to iron out. There's a lot of wrinkles to iron out, right? There are a lot of complications to straighten out. There are a lot of curves to straighten. And I'm not there yet. And celebrate that this morning, that God's not finished with us. Number two, I am not normal, and it's a good thing. So many people get worried, and so many people get stressed, and so many people get anxiety attacks because their thinking is slightly different to somebody else's, or what they say is slightly different, or what they feel is slightly different, or what they do, or how they react, or how they act, or their personality, their character is different to somebody else's. Listen, it's not a bad thing. I am not normal, and it's a good thing. I'm not normal, and it's a positive thing. Can you see? I'm finding the positive things about not being normal. It's fun to not be normal. It's fun to have a few curves in our straight lines. It's fun to have a few wrinkles. It's fun to have a few complications. It makes life more fun. And I am not normal, and I love it because I'm not normal because it's something to celebrate, right? I think we should be celebrating the way we think, if it's slightly different, the way that we act. My wife is not normal. I mean, she'll kill me for saying that, but she's got to acknowledge, because I'll tell you what will happen. We'll be having a conversation, and we'll say something, and it'll be the line out of a song, and she'll sing it, just spontaneously, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, and she might even add a dance to it. I mean, I don't do that, but I love her because she's different. She does that. I don't always join in. In fact, I never join in. Unless it's Les Mis, I might join in then. But she'll just start singing this song because of her, and it can be from like 40 years ago. She shouldn't know the lines of these songs. But, celebrate that. Something to celebrate. God did not design you to be normal. Come on, you gotta be happy with that. And love that. Love the fact this morning that God did not design you to be a straight line, that your life to be a straight line, that your personality to be a straight line, that your thinking to be a straight line. He designed you to be creative. Oh, come on. I mean, don't you thank God this morning for creative people who write songs and write music and productions and write books. God designed you to be creative, to create things, because He is a creator and we are made in His image. He designed you to be imaginative. While you are watching this, we are probably preparing at some point in the holiday to go to Walt Disney World. We always do one day in Walt Disney World. And I'll tell you something, Walt Disney was an Imagineer and has bred a generation after generation of Imagineers, and all the rides and all the productions and all the songs and all the dances and all the musicals are because of imagination. Nobody would have imagined doing this, all those years ago. But we are going right into the heart of imagination. God has designed you to be imaginative. God designed you to have your own personality. You know what I'm saying? Your own personality. Don't be guilty of identity fraud. In other words, trying to be like somebody else. Because we can't be. We can admire somebody else. We can thrive to be like somebody else, to be an example like they are, to live a life. If we admire them so much because they are such a good example. I'll give you an example. My first pastor, Pastor Barry. I literally idolized the guy. I mean, I was a new Christian. He seemed to know everything. He never seemed to make a mistake. I mean, in my eyes, I'm sure he did. Because obviously he was imperfect like we all are, but to me, he never made a mistake. He never said anything wrong. He did everything right. And so I began to copy him. True. Because I love the guy so much. And I remember the way that he used to sit like this, thinking. And so I began to sit like this, thinking, trying to copy him. I remember that he had a certain make of car, a Renault. And I remember that we got the same car. We got the Renault car. I remember that he had a Mac. He wore this certain type of Mac. And so I went out and bought the same Mac. I mean, crazy? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is looking back. But at the time, I wanted to be him. But honestly, over years, I then realised I couldn't be him. I am me with all my quirks and all my curves and all my wrinkles and all my... And thank God for that. So I was a little bit like, and I began to think down these lines this week, I was a little bit like David, trying on Saul's armour. I'm going to read the line out the David and Goliath story that talks about that. You'll probably know it. David has come to face Goliath because all of his brothers and all the army have chickened out. They're all back, and David said, I can't have this. This guy's not going to tell us what to believe and what to do. He literally stood up against the giants. And in 1 Samuel 17, verse 38, this is the verse that kind of formed all of this morning. 1 Samuel 17, verse 38. It says this, so Saul, the king, clothed David with his armour, with Saul's armour. And David said to Saul, I cannot walk with these, with this armour, for I have not tested them. In other words, he couldn't even step out in them. He couldn't step forward. They were way too big. They were way too grand. They were way too heavy. He couldn't wear Saul's armour. And I tried to wear Pastor Barry's armour, and the look and the coat and the car even. And the way he preached, I tried to wear Pastor Barry's army. You cannot wear somebody else's army. Okay, I've got 3 points out of this. Okay? So I'm going to read it again. So Saul clothed David with his armour, put his breastplate on, his helmet on, his gloves on, his boots on. And David said to Saul, I can't walk in these. They're not for me, for I've not tested them. Number one this morning is this: wear your own coat. I soon realised that when I tried to wear Pastor Barry's Mac, it was a 60-year-old's Mac on an 18-year-old's body. And it didn't work. It looked ridiculous. I looked old in it. I should have been, wearing things with holes in it, or splits it or something, which kind of wore it in that. Wear your own coat. Be you. Celebrate being you. And if that means doing daft things sometimes, well, hey, you know what? Just be you. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't wear somebody else's coat. Even if I'm not normal. And I love this. Number two, normal does not fit you. Have you found that sometimes you're wearing something, you put something on, you've got the right size? I do this with Bershka. Sometimes I've shopped at Bershka. I can get something in River Island that's a certain waist. I can go to Bershka for the same waist, and it's a normal size. I can't even get them on. I can't even get the trousers on. I can't even get the jacket on. It's ridiculous. Different sizes for different people. Normal does not suit you. It does not fit you. And that's a good thing. Because some of you might be, a 29 and a half waist, or a 36 and a half, you wish, chest, or a size, 4 3/4 shoe. And the shoes you try on, you're a 5, but you're hanging off because you're quarter. It's not normal. You're not a normal size. Number 3, here's a big lesson. A big lesson. Don't let other people dress you. Saul tried to dress David in Saul's armor. It didn't work. It didn't fit. David could never function in that. Listen. Don't let other people dress you. Don't let other people define you and say, well, you should do this, or you should do that, or you should be that. You will get plenty of that advice. Listen, if it's from wise people that then listen to it. But if it's from people trying just to dress you, I would never ever imagine in all my life trying to dress my children. I mean, we used to when they were 5 or 6 or 7. Can you imagine me now coming up to Hannah, who's 35, and Nana, when I was a baby, saying, Hannah, I've picked this dress out for you, or I've picked these shoes out for you. She would die. I can't imagine for 1 second she would listen or even wear them. That's how ridiculous. We can do it when they're 5 or 6, and we choose the dresses and stuff. Oh, listen, hey, don't let other people define you. Don't let other people tell you what you should be doing, how you should dress, how your hair should be, what you should be like, how you should talk. You are you. And if normal doesn't fit, don't let other people dress you, okay? David, I think about David this week. David was not your normal champion, not your normal winner. When you looked at David, he wasn't what a winner looked like. He wasn't what a champion looked like. David was not your normal, to use a modern term, influencer. Okay? I'm not your normal podcaster. This is not a normal church. And I love it. I absolutely love we can do this. Because you can never be late for this church. You'll never get judged in this church. You'll never find somebody fighting for position in this church. You'll never get turned away from this church because it's too full. Okay? I love it. And I'm not your normal influencer. David wasn't your normal influencer. David wasn't your normal straight line leader. If man did try to look for a leader, when Samuel looked for a leader on behalf of God, David was last in line. David wasn't even in the picture. He wasn't even in the audition. And God prompted Samuel to send for him. And so when you looked at him, he wasn't, listen, don't be worried if you don't look like a leader this morning. Don't be worried if you don't look like a champion or a winner or an influencer this morning. God looks at you a different way that people look at you. Don't worry that you don't look the part. It's not about looking the part. It's about being the part. It's about your heart being the part. If you've got the heart of an influencer or the heart of a leader, that will count for more than looking like one. Come on, can somebody believe that this morning? David wasn't your normal future king. He wasn't what you would think a normal king would look like. I'll tell you why, for 3 reasons. 3 reasons why David wasn't your normal champion, winner, influencer, leader, or future king. Number 1, he was the wrong age. Way too young. Way too young, wrong age. He wasn't even on the list for being a future king. He wasn't on the list of being an influencer or a leader or a champion. Way too young. The Bible describes him as just a kid, just a teenager. Way too young to make a difference. Who says? Do people say that you're the wrong age? You know, people probably think about me, well, you should be sitting back with your slippers on by now, not thinking about broadcasting or preparing for a message, which I do, days in the week, or worried about who's watching or worried about what you're saying. You should just be sat at home right now with your feet up, your slippers on, taking the rabbit for a walk. But that's what people might think, and people might even say, well, listen, you are never the wrong age. Never the wrong age to start. Never the wrong age to start again. Never the wrong age to be a leader or an influencer. Never too young and never too old. Come on, number 2. David was the wrong size to be a champion. The wrong size to be a king. The wrong size to be a winner. The wrong size to be a leader. He was too small. The Bible describes him as, that's why Saul's armor didn't fit him. Saul was a big leader, a big king. Saul was a fighter. David was a shepherd, for goodness sake, and a sandwich maker. That's why he was there in the first place. He took sandwiches to the front line. He was too small. Who says? Who says you're the wrong size, the wrong fit, the wrong type? You are never the wrong type for God. I believe, and I like to believe this, that God chooses people who just don't fit. People who are not normal, the normal straight line. People who are too young or too old, or people who are too small or too big. Number 3, David was the wrong experience. In fact, none. On David's CV, experience as a leader, experience as a champion, experience as a winner, experience as a fighter. And in that line was none. No experience. None whatsoever. Listen, who says? I believe that life is an experience. I believe all the things that we encounter in life make us experienced enough to be a winner and a champion and a leader and a future king. All that stuff you've learned in life, all that stuff you've been through in life, all that brokenness you've experienced. When I talk about the straight line being a broken line, it's all that experience that has come in to make you fit for the thing that you do. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not experienced, that you've got no experience to do that, you're not qualified to do that. We are all unqualified in our own right. But listen, God has chosen you. Quick drink of Starbucks water. In America, in Florida, it's triple filtered. We learn that every single time we go. I'm going to just go throw that in, okay? It'll mean nothing to a lot of people. Listen, God designed you. We need it at the end now. God designed you with your own identity, and love it. God designed you to be different. Love that this morning. Celebrate that this morning. God designed you with all of your wrinkles. Yes, even the ones on your face. Every wrinkle tells a story. Am I right? Every wrinkle tells a sleepless night. Every wrinkle tells a worry or an anxiety or a concern. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every wrinkle tells a battle. And God designed you with all of your wrinkles. As Oliver Cromwell said to the artist who painted him, he said, "Paint me, warts and all. Paint me as I am, as you see me, not as you want to see me." He says, "Paint me as I am, with every wrinkle, every wart, every crease, every spot." And God designed you with all of those this morning. God designed you with all of your little quirks. You know, the first coffee of the day has to be Starbucks. All of the little quirks you've got, all those that little edginess you've got that makes you not normal, all those little complications. Come on, who hasn't got any little complications this morning? I'm talking about physical complications, maybe they're all part of it. I'm talking about the way that we think, the way that we say things and then think, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." The way we act, the way that we walk, the way that we like things and not like things. God made you with all of those complications. I am not normal, and I love it. Come on, why don't you say it this morning? Well, why don't you say it this morning? Announce it this morning to the whole world. Don't be embarrassed about the curves that you've got and the wrinkles that you've got and the quirks that you've got. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of who you are this morning. Newsflash. People have probably noticed anyway that you're not normal. So don't worry about it. Don't make a thing about it. Don't stress about it. People have probably noticed, they've just never said, or maybe they have, like they've said to me, "You're just not normal. Dad's not normal. He does this and he does that and he says this and says that." And the older, what I'm celebrating this morning is the older I've got, the worse I've got, the more not normal I've got. So listen, I could go on all morning about this, but I know that you've got things to do. I've got coffees to get. Okay. God has a place for you. Listen, God has a blessing for you. I am not normal, and I love it. You are not normal this morning. Love it. Embrace it with everything you got. So listen, hey, have a great August. We'll see you in September with, I don't know what I've got to bring in September. Who knows? It certainly won't be normal. Okay, listen, have a great summer and we'll see you. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you in September. God bless you.